Good morning. My name's Haston, and this is Haston Helping Hands. On this week's episode, I'm going to talk to you about the value of some advice I got from a professor about 7 years ago. The advice is, be patient with yourself and curious about the process. Be patient with yourself and curious about the process. Gotta tell you, of the two of those, curiosity is no problem. I've spent most of my life being curious. And in fact, my father of choice, Papa Joe, would say it's the curiosity gene. You're curious about everybody and everything. And I'm delighted to say that my daughter has that too. Hers is more outwardly faced, like she loves the outdoors. Every blade of grass, every single flower, every single rock, every single stick, she is interested. She wants to know more. And I love that. I love the fact that she is infinitely curious about the world. I think we could all stand to do a little bit more of that. The place where I struggle, and maybe you do too, is being patient with myself. So no matter what it is, if you're attempting something new or you don't understand something that your partner has said to you, being curious is a really good way to dig deeper and understand more about where they might be coming from. And patient, I don't know about you, I struggle with that. I struggle to be patient with myself. I struggle. I had a really good friend the other day point out, you think you might be being a little hard on yourself in that situation? Like, I think you handled it the best that you possibly could. Maybe you're being a little hard on yourself. And I said, you know what? You're right. I am being hard on myself, and I do have really high standards for myself. And I think that sometimes leads me to not have patience with myself. And so that's kind of where this came from. It's great advice to be patient with yourself and curious about the process. Now, the process could be anything. The process could be a new job, a new process, something that you're doing that you've never done before. So hello, you're not going to be good at something the first time you try it. Why do we have that expectation? Why do we think that if I attempt this thing for the first time ever, I am immediately going to be perfect at it? Could it be because we're all deep down inside perfectionists and we think things should go a certain way the first time we do it? For example, a couple of weeks ago, I started making my bed. And I read this article about how it is a fantastic decision. There's even a great commencement speech that talks about how it's a fantastic way to start your day because it's a building block to many good decisions, and you start there. And even if you have an incredibly horrible day, at the end of the day, the bed is made. And so when you slide into it, you know you did one thing. Even if nothing else went right, you made the bed. So I feel like that's something that feels so simple. Yet I've never done it, like really ever in my adult life. And I was in the middle of a decluttering challenge, and I truly believe that decluttering is self-care. It is for me. I can't say for you. Maybe it would be. But my good friend Laura says that clutter is visual noise, and clearing out the visual noise has made my life a lot better. I've given myself a lot more space. Back to the bed making though. I've been at this for 2 weeks, and I gotta tell you, it feels great. To make the bed takes literally 5 minutes, and then at the end of the day, it's made. It feels that way. I also work from home, so I didn't realize how much the bed not being made pulled my focus. But now that it is made, I have laser focus most of the time. So within that, being patient with myself and curious about the process is some of the best advice that I've ever gotten from any professor ever. Because the curiosity dream, I've got that, like in spades. The being patient with myself is still a work in progress. I am a passenger on this flight just like you. And I think that the hardest part of that is that when you have a standard for yourself and you say, you know what, I really want this to go perfectly the first time. Guess what? It's not gonna. So be patient with yourself. If you're finding yourself struggling with something new that you're doing, realize that you're not alone. Realize that most people, when they try something for the first time ever, they suck at it. That's called being new. That's called not knowing how to do something. And somebody who I used to work with said, being new means that you kind of suck at something till you sort of don't suck at something. It's not very pithy, but it's also really real. And honestly, I think it's also really good advice, because when you're new at something, how in the world could you possibly be good at it? Food for thought. So, as you head into your day, please remember to be patient with yourself and curious about the process, because being patient with yourself is never a bad investment to make. So, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I do these messages once a week. My hope is to inspire, motivate you, and frustrate you into living your very best life. I'm Jen Haston, and this has been Haston Helping Hands.